My name is Mark Wells, and I'm going to talk more about the FES Flower Essences. And today I'll be focusing on flower essences that can assist you to have a happy and healthy work environment. And I'll be looking at all dimensions of that, from the difficult physical environment through to difficult personal environment. So you can feel comfortable, so you can get on with your job and perform at your best and be comfortable and feel good. So the first one, and I do bang on a lot about it, and that's yes. It is just such a protector. It's your personal bodyguard. So if it's the environment, the place isn't properly feng shuied, or it's you're in the wrong place in that environment, or for some people that just the open work environment is really difficult. Rather than having your own little office or your little haven that you can go to. If those things aren't available, it will give you your own little buffer, your own little bubble, if you like. And of course, radiation, even air conditioners too close, all of those things, yes, will just help you not be so affected in a negative way. The next remedy is mountain pennyroyal, and this is more to do with personalities around you. Mountain pennyroyal protects you from any negativity from personalities around you. So it might be the person that's in the next booth or the person beside you, and there's some real negativity coming from that in terms of how they feel about things, or they're always complaining, or whatever, and it's getting to you a bit. Mountain pennyroyal can help again give you that sort of protective buffer. Even if there's you're on with a group of people at work and the morale's very low, and there's there's a lot of negative responses from people. Mountain pennyroyal gives you that protection, so you don't. Okay, you've got your own things to deal with, but you don't want to be feeling all of that and taking on all that, or sort of getting involved in a lot of the negative stuff. And people will often say, I try not to get involved in the politics and the negative aspects of what's going on in their work environment. Mountain pennyroyal can certainly help protect you, but from the influence of those people who are the most negative or most destructive, if you like, in that sense. Indian pink's another great one in terms of, remaining calm in the midst of heightened activity. And that's often a way, particularly in the open workplaces, or, you've got your desk is where people come in, or where the phones are ringing, where everything's going on around you. Indian pink will at least help you just, not get so caught up and keep your center, keep your calm center, so that stuff doesn't, wobble you or put you off what you're trying to do. Garlic's another one. Garlic's a really good one when there's those butterflies in the stomach. You're just a bit nervous. Sometimes it's something that you're very aware of. You're anticipating something's going to happen or whatever, but it also can be that sense of dread when you're not sure. A lot of people say to me that, for whatever reason, it just might be a phase. It might be they're not happy at their job, or they're a bit uncomfortable with certain people, or they're expecting, some emotional negativity from their environment. So they get up in the morning and they're heading to work and they've got butterflies in their stomach. They're just feeling churning a bit. I often recommend that for kids, when they're feeling that way, when they get up in the morning and it's a real, it's a real battle for the parent to try and get the child to school. And they've got this, they've literally got the tummy ache, etc. So with the adult person at work that is finding themselves getting sort of nervous before work, whether it's they're driving to work, whether it's when they get up the first thing in the morning, whether they're on the tram or the bus and they're feeling this dread before they get to work, garlic is going to help. And the great thing about garlic too, as garlic's a sort of a natural antibiotic, it's a herb, and it's great for the immune system. You know, if this happens and goes on for a while, people feeling this, well, it's going to drain you. You will end up getting sick, and you'll probably get what you wanted, and that's a break from work, but on one level. But the garlic will help prevent that, and helps you just feel stronger, and again, not as nervous and not as on edge about what's coming up. Indian paintbrush is another one. Indian paintbrush is a remedy where you feel creative blocks. You know, it's just not happening at work. But it also can be not so much a creative block, but you feel that you're being blocked. You know, from your boss, from someone in a higher position, or someone around. You're feeling a sense, I want to do this work or this creative work, but I keep getting blocked or thrown off by all these other things, these things that you feel as though you're being inhibited by. Indian paintbrush can help you overcome that, help you go back to yourself and get that creative flow again. And it can be really good, and it's best in that sort of circumstance. It's not necessarily about lifestyle or any of those things. It really is about your creative work. If you're lucky enough to be doing a lot of that at your work, Indian paintbrush can help with that and get that flowing and get in touch with that. I will just mention briefly, Cosmos is another one to think about in those circumstances when there's lots of ideas, but you're not able to sort of get it together, synthesize it enough to be able to articulate that and put it into practice. But Indian paintbrush, always consider that. And finally, violet. And I know in my practice, lots of clients have benefited from this. Often the quiet, more introverted, in the background people. You know, the old expression, the shrinking violet. Violet is usually really good for people that have got a lot to offer. They are very creative, but they're also very sensitive. They're not going to be the prominent person, and they'll get drowned out just in the whole schmozzle at work as things are going on. So violet just helps that person to feel a bit more comfortable, a bit stronger in themselves, being able to do it not in a loud way, but in their own way, make their voice heard and be able to express themselves in a comfortable way that gets heard and gets noticed and appreciated, because there is so much to be appreciated I find in the people that respond to violet. And it's such a shame sometimes when it's and there'll be different workplace environments. There'll be some workplace environments that will be fine for that, and I think if they're run properly and you've got people if you like, in authority that understand people and empathise, they'll be able to encourage and support those people. But if you haven't got an environment like that, and it is a bit more dog eat dog, you know, the violets are going to be struggling. So violet will just help you say your piece, speak up, and not be threatened, not be intimidated, and just be able to quietly make your voice heard. And that may not be a lot of words. It may not be holding the space for a long time. It's just nice, wise words that impact on people, thoughtful words that do come out of the violet person. Thank you, Doug. Well, good luck. I hope that might help you a bit at work.